Good morning. I'm in the Mourne Mountains this morning, and it's actually a really lovely morning, which maybe wasn't exactly as forecast. I give it a wee bit more cloudy. There's certainly the breeze that I said there would be, and I'm not that high up, and a wee bit of shelter, so it'll be a fair bit stronger up top, I think. So I'm here to do a wild camp, and I'm going to go into the mountains a way I've never been before, and that's up along the Spinkwee River, which is to the northwest of Slieve Commedagh. And so I'm going to follow that river valley up and then climb up Slieve Commedagh from the northwest. And my plan is to camp a nice wee spot beside a river this evening, beside water to make all that lovely tea. So we'll see how that goes, but it's looking a nice day, and I think it was a good decision to come out this morning and do this. So I'm walking through Donard Wood this morning, and then I'm going to cross over and follow the boundary of Tollymore Forest, and then link up with Spinkwee River and follow it up into the mountains. Now I started off following one of the traditional ways into the mountains up along the Glen River, and it's just a constant stream of people heading up, and that's the way up to Slieve Donard, the highest mountain in the Mournes. And since I've come on this track here, I haven't met another person. Absolutely fantastic, just so still and calm, and I've got lovely shelter in here from the wind, which I can hear sort of running through the tops of the trees. So this looks like a cool wee way and a different way to approach into the mountains. So just as I'm walking through the trees, I spied something off to the left, and I don't know if you can see, but somebody's been camping here, and look at the state of the place. There's just bottles and cans and goodness, like a real drink fest. Absolutely disgraceful. Not much I can do about it, because I'm on my way into the hills. I don't know, maybe on the way back, but not good, not good. There was actually quite a good track here alongside the boundary wall just outside the forest, but if I wanted to go in, there's a wee access point here, and that'll take me up to the track. And I've seen a few mountain bikers going along the tracks in the forest, and there's even mountain bike tracks out here, so it's quite a popular activity in Tollymore. And Tollymore is a fantastic sort of forest park. Haven't been in it in years and years, but there's great walking along the river, and loads of wildlife. I've seen deer in there, and it's that good. It was actually a Game of Thrones filming location, so that tells you something about maybe how spectacular and sort of otherworldly it maybe appears at times. But I'm going to follow the wall away in the distance, and just over that dip there, that'll take me down into the Spinkwee River Valley, and then I'll start making my way up into the mountains. So I've reached the Spinkwee River, and it's a really cool wee mountain river. There's not much water in it because it's been quite dry over the past couple of weeks. Not particularly sunny or sort of nice weather. It's not gloomy, dry, anticyclonic weather, but there isn't much of a flow in the river, which is allowing me to sort of scramble up through the rocks a wee bit, which is really, really cool. I've already seen a couple of wee spots that potentially would be useful for camping, and I can see evidence that if other people have camped there and left the remains of campfires. So we'll see on the way up, just sort of if there's any really nice cool spots, and I'll maybe file them away for future use, because it does look like quite a quiet sort of remote area of the Mournes, following the Spinkwee River up. Well, the river's taking it easy up here, so we've done a bit of climbing where the river has fallen a bit more steeply, and up here in this big combe here, which hopefully you can see, and that is Slieve Corragh, and up there is Slieve Commedagh. So we're in this big combe, and the river's taking it easy up in here. So what I'm going to do, there's a wee stream coming up, there's like a hanging combe up there, and I'm going to follow the stream up to it, and it looks like it would be amazing if there was like a lovely wee curry loch up there where you could just set up camp, and you know, there'd be loads of water and there'd be fish jumping in it, and it'd be really, really peaceful, but there isn't one up there, unfortunately. Okay, here's proof. There's no curry loch up here, though again, if there had been, I would have stopped right now and just laying about here for a few hours before it got dark. And you can see just surrounded by the steep sides here, and I'm probably going to head up here through these boulders and get this ridge and head up to the top of Slieve Commedagh. Now, even though there's no loch here, there's quite a bit of floating bog, so it is quite wet, and you can sort of see what's feeding the stream. So a bit of care required, because it looks like some of it's maybe a few feet deep. That's a steep pull up from the quarry up the side of Slieve Commedagh, and there's a wee bit of exposure as well, which you maybe wouldn't get on some of the other ways if you were like following up the wall. So really, really cool. I've just dropped off the Brandy Pad, so I've dropped down to the Kilkeel River, and it heads down into Ben Crom Reservoir. So probably about half an hour of daylight, and I'm going to follow the river down to get a nice wee camp spot. I've walked up and down this river a couple of times, and I have spied some really cool wee spots. Hopefully they're still there, why wouldn't it be, like, you know, but hopefully I can find them, hopefully they're okay, and I can get set up just before it gets dark. We've reached camp, so this is the first spot on the Kilkeel River that looks pretty good. So as you can see, a nice bit of level ground. Someone has camped here before, which doesn't surprise me. I think that's where I maybe had a fire. But this is a nice level spot. There's actually views down, you can see down to Ben Crom Reservoir. So there's a bit of a view. Cloud base is still sitting probably about 550 metres. I think it is to be cloudy tonight, so they did say there'd be no frost. Well, we'll see if that's the case. There's loads of water. There's actually a really cool big pool of water. And if this was the summer, you could probably go in there for a wee dip or a wee paddle. But not this time of year. It's actually not too cold. It's probably, I don't know, it's probably about maybe 5 or 6 degrees, and the wind's quite light, so that's just about perfect conditions, I think. So I'll get my gear out of the rucksack. So I have the bivy with me today, and I've actually got a new bivy. So I have the Alpkit Hunka, and it's not big enough to put a full-size sleeping mat in. So I've got the Hunka XL, and it was on sale over New Year. So I got it for 50 quid when it's normally 65. So I sort of couldn't resist that. I didn't buy much else, but that was one of the things I bought. And purely it was so that I didn't have to have my sleeping mat on the outside, where if there was showers or mist that would sort of get wet. So it fits in there super easy. Yeah, so it looks like it's a good size. I think it is to be dry tonight. So I'm not sure if I'll be able to test the bivy out with a bit of rain, but I would like to get an evening or a night where I can do that, where there's maybe showers, and I can see how it performs in the wet. It's just about 6 o'clock. I've had my dinner, I've had a cup of tea and a biscuit. So it's one of those vegetable hot pot dried meals. 5, maybe 6 out of 10, I think. It's sort of like potato, like mashed potato with bits in it. It was okay, not fantastic. A cup of tea and a biscuit, I think we're far better. So that's me all sorted, and I suppose it's just about getting stuff sorted to get in the bivy bag and get nice and warm. It's actually really calm at the minute. There's literally not a breath of air. There's a wee bit of sort of drizzle in the air, nothing much. It would be fantastic if the sky did clear. It is to stay cloudy, but if it did clear, because we had the wolf moon a couple of nights ago, and even this morning when I was getting up, I saw the moon outside and it looked absolutely stunning. So if I can get a wee bit of that at some stage during the night, that would be great. Or even a few stars to look up, sort of at. But we'll see. But getting cosy and warm is probably the main thing now. Morning. It's just before 9 o'clock. That was about 14 hours in the bivy bag, and it wasn't too bad, to be honest. I slept on and off. I wasn't too cold. The clouds stayed. There's just the odd wee break where the stars appeared, but it was mostly cloudy and wee bits of light drizzle. So my 2 pair of socks kept my feet warm, and then the rest of me was fairly warm as well. So yeah, the bivy bag worked really well. Plenty of room in it for the sleeping mat and to move about a wee bit. So the Hunka XL is definitely the one if you want the sleeping mat inside. This morning it's cool enough. There's a bit of a breeze, so I'm just getting sorted. I've got some tea made, and I'll be getting packed up and getting away as quickly as I can. That's me all packed up, and again, you shouldn't know that I've been here at all, so please follow the leave no trace principles. I did find a metal fork just at the river, so I've taken that with me. Whoever left it here, and again, that's tying in with the mountaineer in Ireland. Take one from the hills sort of program, where if you do find something out when you're out walking in the hills, if one person takes one thing home, that potentially could make a big difference in keeping the hills as clean as possible. Down at Ben Crom Reservoir, so it was a lovely wee walk down along that last section of the Kilkeel River and trying to stay as close as possible while negotiating through those gorges. So this is a bit of a camping area, wild camping area just at the head of the loch, and it's actually in pretty good shape. I don't know if that's because there maybe hasn't been many people camping sort of over the winter so far, but there's hardly any rubbish about it at all, which is really good to see. So I'm going to make my way down along the side of the reservoir, down to the dam, and then I'm going to climb up and climb over Slieve Lamaghan, Cove Mountain and Slieve Beg, and then I'll drop back down the Glen River back to Donard Forest. So I've just walked along the length of Ben Crom Reservoir, and I think it's probably about a couple of kilometres, and I think it really is some of the best walking in the Mourne Mountains. You're not up particularly high, but it's just fantastic to be walking alongside the water and to be enclosed by the mountains. So this is the Brandy Pad, and this is an old smuggler's track that runs from east to west in the Mournes, and at the minute it's about 500 metres, so it's quite high up, and it's a really great resource for getting around the Mournes, and it's a really good quality path. And there it is, heading away to the west. So this will take me up to the call with Slieve Commedagh and Slieve Donard, and then as I say, it's downhill all the way. It's me nearly done. So it's been a really cool couple of days trying something new, sort of new approach along the Spinkwee River, which I've never done before. And it was nice to be out camping in the mountains again. I haven't done that this year. Tough enough carrying all the gear and that, but a good choice to come out. New Bivy bag worked really well, handled the weather well. There was a wee bit of light mizzle during the evening. So all in all, a fantastic couple of days in the Mournes, and it usually is. So I'm already planning other stuff.